welcome to the channel, guys. I'm going to start off straight away. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And boy, have we got something special for you today. Ben at McLaren Manchester has very kindly loaned me the McLaren 750S Spider for the next few days. We've done our first just over 100 miles in the car. We've just been literally, thankfully, we had dry roads, nice weather. We've been driving all along the Peak District towards Matlock, Derby, and back down around Buxton. And yeah, in this, I'm just going to nickname it an absolute. Basically, my 600 LT is a mentally fast car. This 750S makes my 600 LT feel like a slug. I've driven some fast stuff. I've driven a Ferrari 296, driven a McLaren Artura, I've driven Mustangs with 800 horsepower. This McLaren 750S makes anything I've driven before feel slow. It is an absolute monster of a car. So anyway, so yeah, as all McLarens, retail price on this car was 350,000. It's an ex-demo. Now you could go and buy this car today from McLaren Manchester for £275,000. So it's quite a saving. About 2,000 miles on the car. You'll have to excuse it. It is dirty. It wasn't spotless when we picked it up because why would it be? Other people have been driving it. No, not closed that. Maybe it doesn't have soft close, or it's because I have a. There we go. Show you in. Cabin is very roomy. The seats, me or my partner Brandy, neither of us actually like the seats. I think they're like supposed to be like the comfort seats, but they're not actually very comfy. But anyway, before maybe I start talking about interior, I think that maybe what we should talk about straight away is this car fast? Well, as I kind of hinted, I have never ever driven anything faster. This car, you don't actually need the first three gears. Gears 1, 2 and 3, you don't need them. Literally, you could drive this car in fourth gear everywhere. The acceleration in fourth gear literally pins you in the seat. It is absolutely insane. Insane. 0 to 124 mile an hour or 0 to 200 kilometers an hour in this car, I believe is 7.3 seconds, which is only 1 second quicker than my 600 LT. But oh my God, does that 1 second quicker, this car feels like it feels substantially faster than the 600 LT, substantially faster. This is an incredible colour as well. The colour's Tokyo Cyan. But anyway, yeah, back onto the performance. 0 to 60, it's traction limited. It's a rear-wheel drive car. I think it's about the same as the 600 LT, actually. I think it's like 2.6 seconds to 60 mile an hour. 0 to 100, this is faster. I think this is below 5 seconds, 0 to 100 mile an hour. And I can tell you now, you accelerate for 2 seconds in this car. It's bonkers. I really, guys, I cannot express just how insane this car is. I really cannot, as they all say, pretty much all McLarens, this one, absolutely, 800 horsepower all day long. It's supposed to be 750 horsepower, but there ain't no way that's only 750 horsepower. No way. And that car is easily 800 horsepower. It is absolutely insane. And yeah, I bet you it accelerates to 200 mile an hour as well, really quick. What the F1 needs to be doing is using McLaren as safety cars and not Aston Martins that keep crashing. Because, yeah. So yeah, we've talked about the performance. The performance, I don't know really how to express it in words to all those who are watching this. I mean, it might not be any quicker than a Ferrari 296, but oh my, because of its old school and it being an ICE car, So there's no hybrid in this. This is just a 4-litre V8 twin turbo, but it feels like it's got the biggest turbo strapped to a car I've ever felt. You rarely put your foot all the way down on this car. You literally drive this car nearly all the time in part throttle, and part throttle in 4th and 5th gear is absolutely insane performance wise. Absolutely insane, guys. It's a nutter of a car. I don't know what words. It's the Millennium Falcon. It's the Starship Enterprise. It's all of them combined. Literally, the straight line performance and the way the power comes on. It starts to build boost, I would say, around 2,500 to 3,000 RPM. But then at 4,500 RPM is obviously the point where the turbos are fully spooled. But the car, absolutely, it literally just, it's like being catapulted pretty much in any gear. You know, even in 5th gear, it absolutely, 4,500 RPM, it catapults. And the revs, they rise too fast. I think it's revving to around 8,500 RPM. I'm just going to say it now. It's the quickest car I've ever driven. The way it feels, it rips your face off. It's like briny. It's made briny feel sick because the acceleration creates as much G-force as whacking the brakes really hard. That's how crazy it is. In my 600 LT, I will drive it nearly all the time in track powertrain and sport handling with the ESC dynamic enabled. I did the same in this, but ESC dynamic, you got to be a brave boy even to drive ESC dynamic in this, because 2nd gear, it really lights those back tires up and wants to go sideways. So even I, like, this car has scared me a bit today, guys. It's a monster, an absolute monster of a car. So yeah, I've kept the ESC on, but with the ESC on, it's a very good system. You don't really feel it interrupting, and it definitely allows you to put the power down without any scary moments in the lower gears. You obviously may not be getting the full potential in the lower gears because obviously the traction control is doing something, but you don't need to worry about not having the traction controller, because this car is just mental. Another way of putting it, anybody who owns a Tesla Model 3 Performance will know that a Tesla has this, like, it's a real, like, you get like a real rush of acceleration at 20 to like 50, 60 mile an hour. But then it really falls off a cliff after about 60, and the Tesla's got nothing after 80. This thing, it just never stops. It never stops. It has that sensation, but more so, but it never, ever stops. This car, well, I say this car literally goes 0 to 124 mile an hour in half the time a Tesla 3 model Performance does. That's just how fast this thing is. Basically, it's twice as quick as a Model 3 Performance. It's mental. It's probably like Tesla Plaid level performance, but obviously it's a lot more fun to drive this thing. So anyway, yeah, the performance, staggering. But the surprising thing, the sound. Obviously it's a Spider, so that's actually really helped in that aspect of things, but the sound is really good. I'm going to apologise now if the camera has been a bit shaky. I'm actually still shaking from driving this car. It has like got my adrenaline really rushing. That's just how mentally quick this McLaren 750S is. It's stupid. Totally unsuitable for a public road if you want to enjoy it, because you can't. It's too fast. But yeah, it sounds good. It's a great sounding car. Sounds way better than a 296. Sounds vastly superior to an Artura. Though I've not driven the Artura Spider, so Ben at McLaren, hook me up. I need to sort that out at some point. The 600 LT does sound a little bit better, especially on the whip cracks, you know, but there's not much in it, and I suspected the exhaust was behind your head in this car, like in the 600 LT. This would sound better, but as it is, the exhaust is further away. But yeah, under throttle, It has a really good noise, but obviously this is a 4-litre V8 versus the 3.8 V8 in the LT. So yeah, performance, mind-blowing. Sound, very good. Now, let's talk about the handling. Obviously, this car, the handling is amazing, you know. But it doesn't have that go-kart feeling for me. It feels bigger on the road. I think it is a bigger car than the 600 LT. I will do a 600 LT true comparison against this. I'll get them both out the garage and do a video of them both side by side. But this, it doesn't have the go-kart feel. The suspension ride quality is superb. You can drive it around on the public road in sport mode. It soaks all the bumps and everything up really well. The body control is amazing. Obviously, this doesn't have anti-roll bars. It's got the McLaren hydraulic suspension setup. So, yeah, I mean, the handling is amazing, but it's just missing something for me. And I think that's to hold that. I'm not really... I don't get that go-kart feeling of the car, because obviously the suspension's that advanced on the car with the accumulator system and everything. It's keeping the car perfectly flat all the time. I guess the dampers are probably making many adjustments as well when you're like turning it into bends and stuff. And the ability is off the scale, but for what I'm getting back as a driver, I prefer my 600 LT. The LT's just got a raw connection to the road that this is missing. Yeah, don't get me wrong, this is still amazing, guys, but the LT's definitely got that better connection to the road feeling. It has more of a go-kart, more traditional, how you expect a car to handle feeling. Obviously, this car got the front suspension. It's probably got more downforce as well. What's a great thing is in the rear view mirror, when you're hitting the brakes, is not then actually having a rear view mirror, because that spoiler has totally blocked your view, because obviously it's an active spoiler. So under heavy braking, the spoiler goes 90 degrees vertical up, which is obviously crazy. So handling wise and the way it feels and drives on the road, I prefer my 600 LT. Actually, let's not talk about the 600 LT too much, because that can be a separate video. So yeah, the handling is absolutely superb, but it's just missing a bit of that connection. The ride quality, amazing. This car, if you put the suspension in comfort mode, you take it down any road, don't matter how bad that road is, it rides it superb. Rides it, probably got better ride quality than just most regular saloon cars, and that it rides immensely well. It handles immensely well. Steering is good, hydraulic steering, I believe, but it does feel more assisted than other McLarens I've driven. And what I mean by that is maybe it's doing something with the weighting on the steering. The weighting feels more meaty, if that kind of makes sense. But it also feels like the steering is maybe trying to take away some of the maybe stuff that you wouldn't want to feel in steering, like when the steering like wiggles a bit and it bounces around in your hands a bit, because like things are being transmitted through the car. This almost feels like it's a hydraulic system that's trying to take away those sensations and feelings. So though it's still very good, I preferred older McLarens because they're that bit more raw. But I do understand why McLaren had done it, because also a lot of owners would probably prefer the steering in this. You could drive this car. This is an everyday supercar. You drive this every day, take it everywhere. It's a little bit wide on the road. Been on some of the A roads and B roads we've been on today, when it's also like an SUV is coming their way or a truck, it's a bit of a clenching moment. It's definitely wider. The brakes are the same as the 600 LT, I believe, and the brakes are very good. In fact, they might be bigger than the 600 LT. Yeah, the brakes are fantastic. The calipers seem to be the same, because I know the 600 LT uses 720S brakes, so I'm guessing maybe the 750's not changed the brakes much. The gearing is great. You can enjoy the gearing on the road. I think it's about 60 top speed in second. Third, I think, is below 100. Obviously, fourth goes quite a lot faster. So yeah, you can see the spoiler there. It's an active spoiler. So this flicks up under braking. You can also make it sit down in there as well if you want. You know, it can sit down in this area, no problem. Fuel consumption. She's a thirsty girl. We've averaged today 13 miles to the gallon. So it's definitely quite a bit thirstier than the 600 LT. But at the same time, we've done 110 miles today and we've just been on A roads and we have just been enjoying the car. So, you know, it's not like we've been on a motorway cruising in 7th gear. I don't think we've used 7th gear once today. And that's so it's average 13 and we've done probably about 150-ish miles today. I've been driving for about 4 hours. So I'll show you inside again. So it's got hidden handles on the inside of the door there. Should pull up. Let me go and open the other one. Oh, I didn't notice this. There is like a red light shining in on whatever that is in the engine bay. Which is pretty cool. But I don't know if it's a red light or something glowing with heat. I wouldn't have thought it'd still be glowing now with heat, but that looks really cool. That's like obviously the heart of the car there. Obviously it could be as well, obviously, because I've opened the door, the brake lights will come on and the car's generally lit up. I'll open this door, as I say, come up to the door, there's no visible door handle, but you reach in here, right there, and pull, or push and pull. There you go. Roomy cabin. The infotainment is vastly improved. You've got wired Apple CarPlay. Shame it's not wireless. The roof operation is also very fast. Let's see what the tyres are. So you got a 305 on the back, and yeah, it absolutely needs them. I would say in some driving conditions, you could probably do with a 325 on the back. And the front has got, what has the front got on it? I actually can't see. Let's go around the other side and hope that tyre is a bit better positioned. Nope, it's right on the bottom. I think it's maybe a 235 or a 245. They're P0s. Yeah, just regular P0s. They felt great today. I actually like the P0 that McLaren use. I find it allows a little bit of slip, which makes the cars a bit more entertaining. If you have too much grip in a car, then you're never scared of it. And well, I think this car just made a noise that sounded like a machine gun firing. Ah yes, our red glow has gone. So that was just internal lighting, not the fact that something's really hot. And you've got, so yeah, also a big improvement compared to McLaren's Revuelto. You now have your front raise here. It's also a lot faster. So literally you just press the button and it goes up, and there's a little indication on the dash to let you know it's gone up. And this is so you can lock your doors when you're in the cabin. This is your front release. I'll show you in the front now. Where's the key? That's probably why it was making a noise, because I've left it unlocked. So awaken it. You got a nice big front boot. There you go. I'd say that might even be bigger than the one in the 600 LT, you know. That's a massive boot. I think you'd get probably 2, maybe even 3 carry-ons in the front, and definitely some other stuff as well. So yeah, let me back off a bit. Oh, a really big front boot there. You should give those guys a follow as well. All right, there's the front of the car with the doors up and the lights on. If I was personally speccing one of these, I would definitely spec the louvers in either gloss black or carbon fibre. And I would absolutely change those black wheels to silver wheels or diamond cut wheels. I think against this beautiful Tokyo cyan blue paintwork, silver wheels would absolutely set it off. So yeah, what do we think to the looks? I think it looks cracking. I think it's an awesome looking car. And that, should we also see if we can get the roof to go up? Unfortunately, I don't think you can make the roof go up on this car by like hitting buttons and stuff. So I think I'm literally going to have to do it. So it's upset about something, probably because I keep. So, oh, you got another compartment here. You've also got door bins here. I've got some stuff stashed. There's I would say you've got like a net back there. Get a bottle. You could maybe like wedge some coats behind them seats, like all McLarens, so you can have the roof up. Let's put the roof up. Oh, there you go. Make sure it doesn't hit me on the head. And you see that's a very fast operation. And that's done. That's the roof up. And I say normally, yep, you can also then, if the roof is up, not that one maybe, this one, there you go. You then get a second boot. There you go. Then you've got this area here where the roof goes. When you put the roof down, you could obviously put some soft bags in there. Or like a suit, you know, a couple of suits potentially, and suit bags. So yeah, the McLarens are quite practical for that. We'll put that back down. So you've got a massive fruit, whatever you wish to call it. Call it the frunk for now. So you've got a massive frunk. You've got a small one where the roof goes if you want to put like some suits or soft bags. So it's the Tokyo cyan paintwork is beautiful. It's an amazing colour. That's quite a disconcerting noise it seems to make when I leave the doors up. Almost like it's firing a machine gun or something. I suspect it's, but I mean, we've driven this car today 4 hours, it's been totally flawless. As I say, I really just don't know. I mean, the performance is the fastest thing I've ever driven. I think it feels the fastest because, unlike the 296, which is obviously also, you know, it's a V6 twin turbo with hybrid. I think it's just the fact that because there's this pure ice car, the turbos are so much bigger on it that when those turbos fully spool up, it feels like you're driving something with 1,000 horsepower. They literally, I can't really explain. You feel the boost come on and you think, wow, and then 4,500 hits, and it's literally like, it just literally someone's like pressed the nitrous button or something. It's just totally insane. And you can't change gear fast enough, and if you kept your foot in it, well, let's work it out. If it does 0 to 124 mile an hour in 7 seconds, that means it takes 5 seconds or less to go from 60 to 125 mile an hour. Less than 5 seconds of acceleration. So this car is extremely hard to enjoy on a public road because the speed limit is 60 or 70 mile an hour. And if you accelerate for more than 2 seconds, you're going to be breaking that speed limit because it's that crazy. And it doesn't matter. Like I say, I've been driving on today. Even if you're driving along in 5th gear and you put your foot down, you would be alarmed at how fast this car does accelerate. It is alarming. Really alarming. So you've got plenty of storage space, gearbox. The gears are great. Let's put so you can see it. The roof up. I've not actually been in the car we're not driven it with the roof up yet, so I don't know if this is like one of these crazy ones where I think this is just a solid black roof, but I think that sometimes they can be glass panels and you can change the opaqueness. Of course, with all McLaren Spiders, you can have the roof up and you can drop that window independent of the position of the roof. They are. I think that's really cool. I know it's geeky and it's daft, but I actually really think that's cool how that glows. Obviously, it's some lighting in there. It's a really nice touch. And you see, you've got tons of aero going on this car. You've got these scoops here, which are feeding into there, which are no doubt cooling radiators that cool the gearbox or the engine. You've got scoops going down here, feeding more radiators, air boxes, whatever. You've got more. Look at that. Literally like a Ford GT. My hand can pass through. Oh, you can actually see it from this one. The design is amazing. It looks like it'd be just as awful to wash as the 600 LT, mind you. But I mean, look at that. You know, McLaren are, the fact that they've stuck with this ICE platform for the 750S is really cool, because it's probably the only supercar on sale today that's just using ICE. And it's 750 horsepower, but it feels more like it's 800 plus, and it feels ferocious. Even if it's no quicker than a 296, this feels substantially faster than a Ferrari 296. And in spider form, it costs far less than a Ferrari 296. You are going to be spending a lot more on petrol though in this, but let's face it, you don't buy a supercar if you're worried about petrol consumption. So, let's go to this wing. Look at that. And watching that in the mirror when you're braking and accelerating, it's like a dog wagging its tail. A really happy dog wagging its tail. This car is like, just wants to be driven. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say, guys. It's just a bit mind-blowing. I'm a bit blown away. I guess I guess the big question is, would I buy one? I think the answer to that is, if I lived on the Isle of Man and I drove the mountain road every day, absolutely I'd buy one. Because you'd be definitely hitting 200 mile an hour in this car quite easily on some of those stretches. But I think here in the UK, where unfortunately a national speed limit sign means 60 or 70 mile an hour in the UK and not unlimited like in the Isle of Man, then I think that, no, I wouldn't buy one. Because I think it is too quick to enjoy on the road, and I think it's a very naughty car. So I think that, you end up having a little bit of fun in it and accelerating for a little bit, and you are doing big speeds. You're going to get in big trouble. You've got to be having really good, be really disciplined, and be very good when you're driving one of these, because it's the fastest car I've ever driven. And I'd say it's not only does it feel the fastest car I've driven, it probably is the fastest car I've driven. Yeah, maybe a 296 is a bit, no, maybe not actually, because this is far lighter than a 296. This is an ICE-only car with basically 800 horsepower. I don't know what the weight is, but I suspect it's 1,500 kilos or thereabouts. So yeah, it's mega light. You've got very short gearing, because that's an improvement of the 750S over the 720S. It's got really short gearing, but the car's more planted than a 720S. 720S be quite... When I drove a 720S, I came away cold from driving a 720S. Didn't like the gearing, it's too long. I didn't like that the car could struggle to put the power down sometimes, even in third and fourth gear. And I didn't enjoy it. And driving this today, this feels quite a bit quicker than a 720S, but it's a lot more planted as well than a 720S. And I would hope that, as this is like a 720, you would expect that this probably should be a lot more trouble-free as well, because it essentially is a 720S platform car that's been tweaked and improved, and over the years all of the issues that the 720S has had have now been pretty much resolved. This car's also got great features like 360-degree cameras, so you can see all around the car. It's got front and rear cameras. You can see the front camera there, the little dot below the number plate. I like the fact that this one's got the bit in the middle painted black. I think that's cool. I think it's a shame the louvers are not black, and then they'd stand out a bit more. I think louvers are ace. Love louvers. Glad that my 600's got them. So yeah, I'm going to try to fit it in the garage as well in a bit. It's definitely wider than the 600. Might have to put the mirrors in. Thankfully they do fold. Let's see what we can see back here. So, oh yeah, you can see all the gearbox and everything back there, and the diffusers. And so yeah, if you want a 750S, go and get one spec'd. About £350,000 for Spider. I think the coupe's about 300 or high 200s. But this one here right now, with just over 2,000 miles on the clock, is 275,000. Which, for the performance it offers, cracking deal. I'd love to drive one on a circuit. I think on a racetrack, just like a 765 LT, this thing would be a mentalist. I think this would be bonkers fast. There's one crazy car. Let's see, the performance, I just can't put it in words. It's mind-blowing. It's totally mind-blowing. And though you can't really test it on the road, the car gives me the impression that it will corner at absolutely insane speeds. Absolutely insane speeds. The ride quality, superb. Comfort truly is comfortable in this car. You can drive anywhere. You can drive through some of the worst of Britain's roads. This car is comfortable. Sport mode is perfectly usable on a British A and B road and gives great feedback. Track is very firm on the road and probably not so usable, if I'm bluntly honest. The brakes are fantastic. The car is interactive. Maybe, like as I said, the super suspension maybe takes something a little bit away, and that from the actual like go-kart feeling that you get with a normal car. I don't know if this has rear steering. I don't think it does. So yeah, it's great, absolutely great. Like I say, I don't think I'd buy one personally because it's hard to use the performance on the road. I think as a track car it would be bonkers, but it's a very expensive thing to buy to be a track car. But there again, you can spend even more and buy a 765 LT, which is hard to imagine that the 765 LT will be even more bonkers than this. More horsepower and less weight and more aggressive gearbox. That's a bit hard. So yeah, just like other McLarens, you've got the 3 powertrain modes. So comfort, seamless gear changes. Sport, the gear changes use the whole throttle cut, ignition cut thing, but it's quite subdued in the 750S actually. I guess that's because it's not an LT. And then in track mode you get inertia push, and that actually feels really good on this car. I really enjoyed it. Car revs to about 8,500. Then you've got obviously your suspension, your comfort, really comfortable. Sport, as it says, sport, great for the road. And you've got track, bit too firm for the road, but I guess pretty awesome on track. Then you've got ESC Dynamic, which is a function I really love. And you can press that, but then you've also got an additional function with this being a newer McLaren. You've got VDC, which is like a variable drift control. So you can basically set the angle of slip up to 15 degrees before the computer will attempt to do anything, and then when it does do something, it will basically trim the car. It won't just take power and it won't just like hit a brake. It will try to assist you in a way where you can maintain the slide and it feeling quite natural. But for me, when I had an Artura, I was quite confident to drive an Artura with ESC off in the VDC, pretty much set to maximum. In this car, yeah, this is quite a scary car. I don't think I won't even be pressing the ESC button again. I don't think it's, yeah, you need your big boy pants on when you're driving this car, because it's a bit of a demon. It's if you do not respect this, it will absolutely kill you. It's, yeah, it is just beyond mental. As I say, I keep saying it and I'm gonna keep saying it. The performance of this car is beyond mind-blowing. I think that this is the fastest supercar on sale today, and the fastest supercar pretty much ever, apart from the 765 LT, because obviously that's going to be a little bit faster again. Also, the 750S is a bit more accessible to everyone, because I think that if you walk into a McLaren dealership, anyone can buy these. I think they're doing quite well with these. I know that Manchester alone has sold quite a lot of 750s and 750Ss. I think it's proving to be quite a popular car, which I am not at all surprised about. Let's put the lights on. I'm going to see if it has got an automatic roof down mechanism, but I don't think it has. No, I've pressed unlock 3 times there and nothing's happening. Let me just try 3 fast. It responds as if you did 2 fast, so it opens the door for you, hence why that door's gone down. I think it's a good looking car. Again, I always love the LT models from McLaren, but I do think the 750, you would not be, there's nothing disappointing about the way that this car looks. And driving this car along today, it makes people really look at it. And people are looking at it, and it's not like, oh yeah, look at that guy in that supercar. It's like, oh my God, what is that? Look at that. That is incredible. Again, I think the colour does a lot of it. It's a really cool colour. I say the light is fading here. So it's not in the sun or anything. This is in the shade. And I love cars where even in the shade, the colour still pops. It's now in the shade, it's almost like a verging on like a minty greeny colour, but then in different shades it's blue, and then the sun really pops. It's like a real, like, really bright but low blue. Hard colour to explain. Go to your McLaren dealership and see if they've got any Tokyo Sian cars. It's a really cool colour. Let's go and get a picture of those lights on at the back. We're going to get around there fast enough, because that's another thing. McLaren always have the swooping lights, which is cool. The swooping lights. So you've got the centre exit exhaust here, which is, maybe this also explains why this car actually does sound good, because the exhaust, even though it's not there behind your head, it is actually quite high up on the rear of the car. So I guess, you know, you're going to get some of the sound coming through there. But there's so much going on with this car. But also it looks great. It doesn't look like it's like had a load of bits stuck on it. It's got a great flow to the body. I love the fact that you've got these, I mean, this is a Spider as well, but the fact that you can see through them, I think that's really cool. It does feel quite big on the road. The mirrors are good. Visibility is also good, because if you look at this, look how low the windscreen is. So the visibility is good. There's a lot of glass in the car. However, this area here is a major blind spot with the roof up or down. I say the seats, these are the comfort seats. I don't actually find them that comfy myself. If I was buying a 750S, I'd definitely want a set of P1 bucket seats. I find them really comfy. The infotainment system, much improved now. Very instantaneous response, as always. This has got like I believe the Bowers and Wilkin or Bang & Olufsen speaker system. Very good sound systems in these cars. It's very, you know, if you want to just put this car in comfort mode, cruise on the motorway, have the music playing, amazingly comfortable. You could do an 8-hour road trip per day in this, and you wouldn't get out the other end feeling bad or anything. Very comfy car, very easy to do mega distance in. I would imagine on the motorway, because it has got a 7th overdrive, I imagine at 70 mile an hour it's probably 2,000 RPM or less. In fact, should we put the roof down once more? Let's see how fast that roof goes down, shall we? Let's no, because we had the tonneau up, you do have to tell it it asks you to double check, which I know. There we go. Because obviously, if you'd have put something in there and then you do this, we're like, yeah, you're probably going to have an expensive day. And that's it. It's that fast. And you can do that up to about 30 mile an hour, I believe. Yeah. There you go. Now it's the Spider. I like the wheel design. Just a shame they're not silver. I think those wheels are silver because they're a really nice design. They'll be easy to wash as well. Yeah, it's a cracking car. I feel embarrassed that I'm taking this to a car show tomorrow. Wheels in motion in Stafford, and it's quite dirty, but I might wash it in the morning. But at the same time, it's got a few bugs on the front. It wasn't spotless when I picked it up. No, I wouldn't expect it to be, but there's definitely a bit more roadkill on the front of this car now. Lights are cool. See there, I suspect like all McLaren's lights at night are amazing. So yeah, bonkers performance, incredible brakes, amazing ability handling wise, but I do prefer passive suspension over the Super Series suspension. It takes a bit of the feel away. Overall, it's just an amazing car. The reason I just want to buy one personally myself is I like to be able to push a car pretty hard and enjoy the acceleration and press on a bit. You can't do that in this car, because if you do drive it like that, you'll be doing 160, 170 mile an hour, and it's either going to go wrong and you're going to get really hit or kill yourself, or a lovely gentleman is going to spot you and take a nice picture of you and send you a summons, and that summons will probably include ending up in the can. So yeah, definitely a car for the Isle of Man. Or, you know, when I was younger, I would have happily bought a car like this when I was younger and driven it everywhere at 150 mile an hour. Because when I was younger, I was a bit nuts. But when I was also young, there was no cameras anywhere and there was far less roads on the car. So, you know, when I was young and irresponsible, I did drive everywhere like an absolute idiot. And I didn't sped everywhere. I didn't care. And so yeah, young me, if young me could afford a car like this, young me would have bought this in an instant, and I would have driven it like I'd stolen it everywhere. And I wouldn't have cared if I was doing double or, you know, when I say I wouldn't have cared, I never speed in 30s, never speed in a 30, never speed in a 40 mile an hour. But when I was young, when I saw that national speed limit sign, to me, a national speed limit sign when I was a youngster was just a challenge. It's like, well, how fast can I go down this country road? And yeah, in a car like this, if you've got that mindset, you're going to be going down it at well beyond 150 mile an hour, and you'll get to 150 mile an hour. Well, let's work it out. If it takes less than 5 seconds to go from 60 to 125, this probably, if you accelerate for 10 seconds, is probably doing 160-ish mile an hour. So yeah, there's plenty of roads where the straights where allowing you could squeeze the throttle for 5 or 10 seconds. You get the picture. You'll be going stupidly quick. So yeah, young me would have bought this all day long. As I've got older, I actually got a bit more of a fear factor about me. I now understand that, yeah, if you get it wrong, it's gonna hurt. I also understand that I don't want to also be getting a summons from the plod. So yeah, now I like cars that accelerate slower, because I can actually accelerate for longer in them. But I can't take it away. McLaren have built an absolute masterclass with the 750S. 765 LT aside, I firmly believe this is the fastest supercar you can buy today. I firmly believe it's probably one of the best handling supercars you can buy today, and one of the most capable supercars you can buy today. It's also one of the best riding supercars you can buy today. I say I'm not exaggerating. The comfort in this car is amazing. And you could drive it every day. You can drive this car at 30 mile an hour through a town, be in comfort, and everyone will stare and point at you. If that's your thing, driving around London, this is perfect for you. It sounds good as well. That V8 definitely has been better tuned than it was on the 720S. It's got a much better soundtrack to it. I just noticed there's more swoops and cool stuff going on down there as well. So yeah, it's, you know, it's a mega cool car, this. I mean, feel free to comment, but I don't know of any other brand new supercars on the market that are this level of performance or ability, whilst offering so much comfort. And I know that people like to rid McLaren for reliability, but I've owned enough supercars now. I've had no issues with a McLaren above and beyond issues that I've had with any other supercar. And that, in fact, the worst brand that I've had was Ferrari. You know, my 458 threw a massive bill. But what I will give McLaren, their extended warranty is pretty good. I find it's one of the better warranties on the market from supercar brands, and it covers most things. So for me, as a brand and as a car, I think a lot of it's overhyped personally. I've really got no issues with them. I'd happily buy a McLaren, confident in the brand, and if something does go wrong, confident that the service will be great and they will look after me. And I think anybody else should be like that. I don't see these cars to be any worse than any other supercar brand on the market. But what the McLaren does offer is insane performance with great comfort. And, you know, great features and tools. You've got a great sound system. You've got 360 cameras. You've got all the toys. Likes fuel. Might be a bit better in a motorway cruise. You've got that big wing that wags like a happy doggo. So yeah, as always, please like, please subscribe. Give these guys a follow. I highly recommend Manchester if you're either buying a McLaren or having your McLaren serviced. They've been absolutely superb. Oh, the other thing that I haven't mentioned that I should mention that's really cool about this car, I might as well start it up, I don't know, whilst I'm here. It won't be a cold start, as I say. We have been in it and driving it around, and it's only been stood for about an hour. And tried to keep my phone upright. I'll show you the different layouts. There you go, you get this. Obviously, we've been talking whilst the batteries have been running. Got 26 days in the battery left, so I've got 55-mile range. That's like just less than half a tank. So yeah, it drinks fuel. And you got some animations going on here on the infotainment. Let's start it up. In fact, let's just do ignition on. Let's at least try to make it fire up. Oh, like I say, it's got a great sound system on this car. You've also got a wiki button now, which I think you can like preset like an M button in a BMW. It'll put all of your favourite drive settings on that button. You've got your aero, so I think you can make the wing stay up or go down. Launch control, I think that based on the lack of traction in the lower gears that we've experienced today on a nice dry hot day, I don't think we'll be going near that. Plus it's not my car, so I don't think it's fair to be messing with launch control. And as I touched on earlier, you've got open the front boot, you've got lock the doors, you've got front lifter, which is a much easier system to operate now with a button, and it's very fast. So there's and also you've got the toggles here. So you want to put the handling in sport. Oh, what's that say? Have I got to be on? Not possible, I guess. Right, we'll just very quickly start the car up. So it's not going to be a cold start. So you have a start button down here, foot on the brake. There you go. And you can control your modes from up here. So this is your handling. So you got comfort, sport. You see the dash also changes. Then you've got your track mode, which changes it again. And you can also change your powertrain, which say affects really mainly shift speed and throttle sensitivity. Then you go to track mode. Then you can press your ESC dynamic. There you go, traction off, which then you can also play with your drift mode. You have to turn it on. There you go. Now you can set your slip angle. This car, don't advise it unless you're on a racetrack. Really, it's quite scary, as I've already said in this car. Quite a scary machine. Press start. It's a really easy to use system. You press the button here. It jumps forward. You've got navigation. Quite a nice map. Say shows you your speed, shows you cameras and all that kind of stuff. Press that again. I haven't played too much with stuff in here. So you've got all of that. DAB radio. It's a much better system than once previous. So you can change lighting. I think it's a bit too... Oh, so yeah, I can see it there. If I change that to that, yeah, it's gone blue now. So yeah, you've got like lighting effects around the car. Oh yeah, yeah, it even goes to red. We've got yellow. It really upset the colour spectrum here. There you go. What about white? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Pink. There you go. You get the idea. We'll put it back on. Yeah, you want the heaters, just hit the fan. Put the fan speed up. It's got heated seats. Just press that. Pull out. Got your air con. You tell it where the air goes. It's a very responsive system. It's all very easy to use. So you do that, then you got your temperature. They're a little bit too small if you ask me. I'm going to give it a little rev for you guys. We're in neutral, so you got your gear selectors here. Hat safety, you got your... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing the roof. Your window controls are here. Let's put the windows down. Let's give it some revs. There you'll see. There you go. Not a bad sounding car. We're going to turn it off now because obviously wasting fuel. They're going to say I'm going to turn it off. I will actually just move it into position. We're going to put it in the garage. So we'll activate drive. We'll leave it in comfort and auto. Take the handbrake off, which is a button down here. Easy to use. See that? There we are. Car pulls itself forward. It obviously tries to mimic a traditional auto. Just gonna drop that mirror to that side. It's again dead easy. You got a knob. There you go. That's that. Hit reverse. You get a reversing camera there, and you get a 3D camera there. Oh. You also got parking sensors as well. So, yes, it's a big car, as you can see. Amazing systems on this car, guys. Makes it very usable as a supercar. Whilst I attempt to not reverse into my garage, we are getting quite close. You can see the sensors are coming up, and we'll put that into drive, and we'll leave it at that. We don't want to crunch anything at the front. Turn them off, put the handbrake on, and we'll turn it off. So yeah, I hope that I've covered everything. Bonkers quick car. Probably the fastest supercar on sale today, because I don't think you can buy a 765 LT anymore. Feels outrageous. Looks the part. Sounds the part. So yeah, highly recommend. Please like and subscribe. I know, as always, this video has gone on far too long, but hey, I'm trying to give you guys the most detailed videos on these cars that I can. If you want to see these cars driving, there's plenty of other reviews elsewhere. I would just rather go into detail what the cars kind of like to live with, really. I'm going to have this car for several more days yet. I will be making another video with a direct comparison to my 600 LT, but for now I'm going to call that a day, call that a wrap. Thank you for watching. Over and out.